In Homer's Odyssey, he writes of Ulysses taking his adventures around the world. And one adventure when they were sailing through the sea was to pass by an island where the sirens lived. They were mythological creatures that were part woman and part bird. They were known for being very, very beautiful, and they played musical instruments, and they would sing songs, and the songs had such a powerful allure that if any sailors were to hear it, they would be drawn to the island. It would be this irresistible force, this thing that says, I have to go there. I have to obey the message in that song. I have to be with that siren. And it became so compelling, they would change direction and would sail right toward the island. The problem is that the island had no good place to land. The seas were rough, there were boulders everywhere, and every sailor and every ship that heard the siren's song would sail into their own destruction. And the island was surrounded by sunken ships and the graveyards of sailors. And Ulysses heard about this, and so he did this. He had all his sailors have their ears plugged with beeswax. And he wanted to hear the song, so he was tied to the mast of the ship. Kind of like, what about Bob? He was tied to the mast of the ship so that the sailors couldn't hear the song, and he couldn't do anything about it when he heard it. And when he sailed by the island, he began to hear it. It was so lovely. And the next thing you know, he shouted to his people at the top of his lungs, loose me, unwax your ears, we've got to go. But they couldn't hear. And so they kept on sailing, and eventually they got away from the island, and Ulysses settled down and realized that he had been in the face of a seduction. Something so alluring, it would have drew him in, even knowing it would have meant almost certain death. Money will do that to people. It can do it to me, it can do it to you, it can do it to anybody. It has an allure. And it can be so appealing, what it can do, what it can make you, what it can give you, that we can find ourselves sailing in pursuit of it, even though another part of us knows this is not the way to life. I am sacrificing way too much in my pursuit, and this will mean my ruin. It's seductive. So let's recap. What did Jesus know? Money is necessary. Gotta have it. Deal with it every day. If we don't have enough of it, we get desperate. It's powerful. It's amoral in its power, but it's got incredible power. And because of that power, it is seductive. It'll steal your heart if you're not very, very careful. Now, I was just kind of wrestling with this whole idea of necessary and powerful and seductive. And I thought, what's kind of and suddenly an analogy hit me. I said, yeah, it's like that. Anybody here seen the movie Avatar?
What?
Yeah. How many of you saw it but you don't want to admit it? Oh, yeah. The new V on a foreign planet way, way out there somewhere. This alien species who lived in this pristine world. They got about in part by riding flying dragons. They were known as the mountain banshee. And every new V at some point had to come to the place where they would bond with their own mountain banshee. And then once they had bonded, they would be able to work together and fly, and everything was in harmony. But the bonding process was very difficult because if they didn't get control over the banshee would kill the person. In fact, let's watch a clip of the main character bonding, or at least fighting, with a mountain banshee, and let's see if we can't draw some parallels between us and money.
That was gone.
seals the bond. You cannot wait. Think, fly!
Fly? Shut up and fly straight! That's it. Bank left.
Money is like our own personal mountain banshee. We gotta deal with it. And it could kill us unless we can find a way to control it. Here's maybe the big lesson for this morning. It is imperative that we learn how to master money. That's why Jesus talked about it so much. It's necessary, powerful, seductive. We have got to know how to master our money. This always means at least four things. It means we have a financial plan. We know what we're going to do with money. It means that we know how to save money for life's inevitabilities and emergencies. It means we have a plan for building wealth so that we have more options as we move through life, and we can leverage more of money's power in righteous ways. And it means we practice generosity, experiencing the greater blessing of giving than receiving. Now, may I dare say, this is not normal for Americans. It's not. You know what normal for Americans is? Debt. Debt. Credit card debt, car payment debt, consumer debt is debt. Normal for America is having little to no savings. Normal for Americans is having no real retirement, no real emergency plan. Normal for Americans is living paycheck to paycheck. Normal for America is being stressed out and almost broke. That's normal in America. And that's why it's time for a new kind of normal. Because there ain't nothing good about that kind of normal. And the church ought to lead the way, because the one we follow, Jesus, is the one who said, here's how you can master money. Here's how you can win in the money game. Here's how you can take it, control it, and use it to enhance life.